Corval can be an extremely fast deck. Obeka I actually haven't seen, but I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, so we're live with the game. Okay.
All right, and we are off.
So 2 Tymnas opening. Cavern naming humans.
Yes, and a Soul Ring. Pretty standard opening. Also pretty great since, Shakashima is also covered.
And we have something else.
We have a chalice on 1.
Chalice on 1.
That seems disgusting.
Yeah, seems really bad.
Also on the play, right? Like he really controls.
Yeah, he has control of all the plays. He stops a lot of lines that are usual on cEDH.
We do see a force of negation on the chalice.
Pitching a force of will nonetheless.
That is, and that's from the Obeka player, no less. That's gotta hurt. That is really something. But I guess if it is a chalice on 1, you have to do something.
Yeah.
Like
half of the Grixis deck.
Half of the Grixis deck, like the consultation can't win, can't ponder, can't preordain. I think
most of your tutors are off.
It's the correct play, but it's
it's
rough. Especially now we see a mana vault, and that does make sense. Passing the turn to the Tesha deck, which just opens the command tower and
Lotus.
We're just gonna play our commander here. I guess that's probably fine to get the sacrifice train rolling. So I guess this is a deck that most likely wants to win via some kind of sacrifice shenanigans.
Absolutely.
Potentially some loops that maybe just as the Safi deck we saw last time.
Yes.
Looking for some altars.
We will see how it goes this time around. Still has a worse sitting than our deck, our Safi deck had the round before, but that also opens to having the 2 other opponents spend their resources.
Yes.
So
makes sense, and
loving that artisanal life counter for the Corval player.
Yes,
it's really good for webcam settings.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's lovely low tech. That's always nice.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
We're checking what happened here with the turn order, but we see the positions turn around. So now we have the Corval player on 3rd position.
Yes, so this turn order does make more sense, and we took a tick back of what we just described.
Yeah. Much worse position. You also reveal what your play is. So.
Yes. These things happen, right? So we don't have we have judges on hand, of course. We don't have a judge in every pot, so it's a little bit of a self.
Yeah, it's maintaining the board state. It's a responsibility of everyone.
Yeah.
But we're all doing it in good fun as well. So I don't think this changes much. And
no, probably not. I think it's.
It was good that it happened quickly and not with a vital play.
Exactly, and the players handled it themselves, and there's no reason to make a big fuss about it if you can just resolve it amongst yourselves. Absolutely. See a bio and a Deathrite Shaman, which is always great. We do have a land in his own graveyard, so there's a possibility of some ramp next turn. And then we have, you just saw it, we just told you, he just showed us it again. Simple.
Yeah. And we're back to where we should be.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. It's a Plains?
It's a Windswept Heath, I think.
Yeah, Windswept Heath.
So we're just going for some fetchy stuff. This could be a Tymna. Nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
Or a stacks piece is probably also a good call. Cost increaser, I guess, like a sphere or something. Like in this particular pot, if you could tutor up any stacks piece and have it, what do you think?
Tranit Magistrate doesn't seem half bad when 2 of the decks wanna win with the command zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be my choice, I guess.
Yeah.
This position.
I agree. Draneth would be amazing.
It also enables an attack with Timna the next turn. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I would want here.
Yeah. That is.
I doubt highly that the Grixis player is gonna put any blockers soon. So.
No, he's open for business, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you do?
I think Draneth is an excellent choice. Rest in peace, not because it does something right now, but it does, like, if you want to sack and you want to loop and stuff like that, it shuts down the 2 other decks. So
yeah,
I think one of those 2, but Draneth is the best, probably the best. We have a rule of law, which is
yeah, it's really good. We already saw a similar effect causing nightmares in the last round. So
yeah.
So he has more things here. Yes.
1 second. Do you know how to? What?
Yeah. So.
Just gonna.
Yeah. So here, again, we see the Oveka player taking its turn. The turn already affecting again a Stormy player.
Yes.
After taking the stacks, it's impressive. We talked about this before, how all the lists started running things that bounce to confront these kind of lines as well. Stacks is a real threat. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So let's see. It was just a pass from the Oveka player, a bit constrained on colored mana.
Yeah. That maybe just holding up some interaction here is better than putting out something, but holding a 1 land hand and pitching two.
Yeah, 4 cards down to not too much on turn 2 feels pretty rough.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. That is really unfortunate.
It was probably a turn 2 something with protection, but
but yeah,
that's how it goes sometimes.
You want a little bit more out of this, I guess.
Yeah. So now we see take out the Windswept Heat from the graveyard, and now we're gonna do a Demonic Tutor here. Demonic Tutor. Yeah, I don't think anyone will take a shot at this.
No.
Yeah. Pretty normal first 2 turns building stuff.
Yeah, there's
building
nothing. There's like, if you don't have these farm decks, it's not as explosive. It is more simple. So yeah, we just have a pretty standard development, but I do think that the 2 Timna player it's looking pretty good, since you have this rule of law, and that essentially, like, it's difficult to protect your stuff, right?
Yes, absolutely. And again, as we mentioned, he's gonna get the card advantage going on pretty soon.
Yes, for sure.
So, and then we're gonna see a land drop. Let's see if we see something else here.
Well, doesn't seem like it.
Well, he can't, but
yeah, I'm not sure if he has 1 red open, so it could be holding up a blast or a pirate, something like that. But
Blood
Artist, which is I guess a key part of the sacrifice combo.
Absolutely. And we started swinging now.
Yeah, nothing too fancy.
So we're going to the Oveka player here. Makes sense. Adnos line.
Yeah. So untap, nothing. Let's see.
Yeah. So now it's the turn in which the Timna player starts taking advantage. Of
Yes,
his position.
definitely. And I actually think with such a slow development, you might want an attacker previous turn, because right now, you have the stacks piece, and I think this is the trap some of the stack players can fall into, is playing out the stacks pieces before you have the opportunity to capitalize on with your draw spells, right? Because now he's playing the Timna, and I'm not sure if it's a threat, like, because now he's missed out on one draw.
Yeah.
Which is something, right? And especially since you want to get to a critical mass of stacks pieces, I think doing it in the reverse order might have been better.
Yeah.
But
also, like, not knowing what the Obeka player was holding.
Yeah, for sure. And the Obeka player did throw some...
he has a mana bolt out. He's in position of taking turns.
Yeah.
If he had the combo on hand.
Yes.
Oh, so it's just a pass here.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
That's really rough.
Yeah.
That's really rough. That's what happens on the Grixis lines. They have they suffer a lot from low land counts.
Yeah, and then when you gotta go fast, you sometimes do get a little bit greedy, and trying to get it to work, and sometimes you get punished, sometimes you don't. But
he also had a City of Brass. Like,
yes.
I'm on Grixis. I have 2 protection spells. I'm second sitting, and yes, not having that second color source is gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's really gonna hurt, because you do need the 3 for the Obeka, right?
And now we see how the sacrifice deck it's taking more advantages. Flying 2/2 demon.
Yeah, it's the new guy from the Zendikar set, who it's a cleric. He grows, and then non-token creatures, they die. He gets bigger, and then he can draw some cards if they're clerics.
Another payoff for creatures dying here.
So again, we have the sacrifice payoff. A bit unusual, I would say. It's not a deck I'm particularly familiar with.
But it's sitting in a good position right now because of that rule of law and the sequencing, as you explained, not being Timna first.
Yeah.
So not being like a creature out that can attack and getting hair advantage.
Yes.
He's in the position of now, like...
Yeah, he definitely has to, the 2-Timna player has to look at his hand and find the stacks piece that does something against sacrifice. Like a rest in peace now would be really key.
Yes.
And he has to find it soon, right? Because...
otherwise it will, like, the sacrifice deck will just go under the radar, I guess.
Yeah, and just...
They have an endgame.
They have an endgame, and they do have... Like, the reason why we sometimes shy away from decks like these is that they can get a long time to get the ball rolling. But right now, with no threats and the blue interaction player out of stuff, seems like, and two like he's essentially being time walked twice. That is pretty rough. And of course, he's taking the damage here because we do see blockers. I think you could have run that at the Corval player. It's minute details, but
they make the difference in the long run. I agree. A rest in peace here shuts off a lot of the other 2 players that are not shut off now.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that? Oh, deafening silence. So doubling down.
Okay, that. That's gonna be rough. It seems a bit odd to me. To double down on that, but we obviously we don't know.
Maybe he doesn't have any much more going on. Seems like the mulligans were not really favorable to our players.
No,
they had good openers, but that Chalice of the Void will have changed things. So definitely. Yes. So
it's still on the stack. Is what we are hearing. So he might have to throw something. Mental misstep,
tapping the land to preserve some of that precious life total.
Yeah, because he is getting beat up on.
Yeah, and I don't think Grixis can get out of 2 or 3 pieces of stacks.
No, there's just no chance. But this is this is essentially playing into the hands of, again, on the Orsov player on the Tesha deck.
Let's see if he got the land here. Let's see if Matthias got the land here.
Oh, it's really rough. This is just pass go. Again, it's not really his game.
Really bad.
Yeah.
And we started exiling to drain everyone.
Also a little bit, it feels like a bit slow, but...
It's 2 points, and then it's 4, and then it's 6 that it took away from your Adnos. And then you didn't get the card you needed, so...
Yeah.
This feels really bad. I will feel really bad in Matthias' position right now. He got really rough, really rough...
Yeah, we have an Eternal Witness.
Probably bringing the tutor back, or the land.
Whoa, that seems...
Targeting the land.
Okay.
Well, someone's constrained in mana. Makes sense. You can get it twice with the Red Shaman style.
Yeah, that must be the reason. Because typically you would go for the Demonic Tutor here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He seems to be pretty much set up with the Dockside Extortionist.
Yeah.
It would make 3 mana right now, which is, well, it's not a lot, but when you cast Cold it turns into...
Does his deck run Cradle there? Because also Cradle will be 3 as well. Better than the fetch.
I think I would. And now we see the altar, which is one of the key pieces for the sacrifice deck.
So this is the thing with the sacrifice deck. Again, outside of the meta, like it's not something we will have played if we would have played the tournament, probably. Mm-hmm. But every turn, putting something meaningful on board.
Yeah.
He has not skipped a single beat putting things that are important on board.
He has curved and followed up on the game plan.
Yeah.
Which is how you win Magic games. Obviously he hasn't won yet, but I think that's the essence of cEDH, as you point out.
Yeah.
Doing something meaningful each turn.
Yeah, if you spend 2 or 3 turns not tapping your mana sideways, you're behind. Not that you're out. That's the beauty also of the game.
But I think in casual they sometimes talk about that the person who spent the most mana in a given game is typically the winner, and I think that holds true for our part of the format as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we see here Aven Mind Sensor, obviously a fetch and response, nothing particularly
exciting
fancy or exciting. No.
And our Grand Tomb here. 2 mana open for next turn.
Yeah, potentially also still it's an overgrown tomb, and since he does have the fetch in his graveyard, he does have access to the blast if he wants that. But I don't think the Obeka player is a threat right now. What you really want to get, I think, is a Force of Vigor to alleviate some of that pressure coming out from the Tymna player. Yes,
and that Aven Mind Sensor, it's definitely.
Yeah, I think
it's a second piece of stacks that we talked about, but it also doesn't put that much pressure on.
No, but I think the main part of the text that you want from this Aven Mind Sensor right now is the flying part, because it is essentially just drawing an extra card. So a Shakashima here, maybe doubling down on that, is also an option.
And that's the beauty of the Sakashima deck, the Sakashima variant of Tymna. Having 2 Tymnas as the name of the deck expresses is just such a big advantage.
Pretty disgusting, and it's going to get to a Tymna, so now we're gonna draw the cards.
Yes. Yeah, that Aven Mind Sensor has no rivals. No. And it won't find any rivals.
No, so every time you connect with it, it's essentially a free divination.
Yeah. Impressive.
Yes.
And yeah.
And yeah, I think he paid with the Cavern of Souls mana, so it's essentially bounce spells we are looking for right now. And those bounce spells, they can come out from the Obeka player, and like he can't untap his mana vault, so I think he has to let it fly right now. You can't spend any more resources. It's really rough. Now you can draw 4 cards pretty easily. But you should really try to find something against this sacrifice deck.
So what are they discussing right now?
They're discussing whether Sakashima, if it's a trigger or what it is, but it is an enters as.
So it's a replacement of it.
Yeah, I guess you know the correct terminology, you being a judge.
So
but
it will just enter as
it
a
just
as a
enters.
copy.
Like I think what they wanted.
Doesn't target.
No, so maybe
it doesn't go on the stack.
That was the bounce spell we were looking for, something similar.
Yes.
I don't know, but it's just enters as a clone, right?
Yeah.
That is a lightning bolt. That seems... So that was what he was holding up. Spicy to put in a lightning bolt. I really like that as a tech also against the...
Yeah, it's again really useful for the current format. I added it to my list. It's also a really, like, you can outlet with it. If you get the scepter with dramatic reversal and then you get a copy artifact with the lightning bolt, it's just an outlet to win the game. So there is really no downside for a Veka player.
No. Here. I think we are in. I think we are in a state, where lightning bolt is it's a good mainstay, and keeping up one red mana's pretty low opportunity cost, and it's excellent, obviously, against the Notion Thief.
Yes. Let's see if he drew the land here that gets him out of this situation.
I really hope that he draws something that rhymes with mana, just because it's like its free player game is not as interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dockside Extortionist. It is something.
So it will generate right now 3. 3. We have the altar, the rule of law,
and the Soul Ring. Yeah. And it is something to get him back into the game. It's not excellent, but it is something. It makes sense to.
Sometimes you just need those colors,
yeah,
and they bring you into the game. He's just passing here.
And most likely, it will just be 4 mana for something next turn. Hopefully, something like a Heuristic Study, but if he drops an additional land, then now he's back in the game, and that's like Dockside is not always a combo piece. Sometimes it's just
value. Pure value.
Like this.
Here he was in a situation in which if he has the Atnos, he can go for the Atnos here because he was on 5 mana, sitting on 5 mana at that point.
Yes.
So like even that's the beauty of the Stormy decks on Grixis. They get a ritual effect, and then they can just
they can go
over.
From 0 to 100.
Yes,
they can really shift the gears. Especially actually since, again, he's pretty... If he can get through the stacks, I think he should be more or less unopposed.
Absolutely.
Not many counter spells. In the other colors, there's some odd ones. I don't know if our players actually put them in their list.
So we're asking life totals here.
Yeah, we have...
interesting. An Eternal Witness on the attack.
I think it is just because it's free, but...
Okay, so then we have a tag clarifying what copy it is.
Yeah. And obviously no blocks.
So a lot of mana here.
Yeah, and it's going to be a Cobalt. So yeah, we're just looking for some card draw here and trying to set up. I don't think this is a call and then popping off. It's more likely just a Cobalt next turn.
For value.
For value, I think you maybe actually sack a land here. It's obviously a little bit dicey. You could also just sack the Eternal Witness.
Yeah, but then again, like the team nap play didn't pan off thanks to that lightning bolt. Then the Dockside is just for setup. This is just for setup. So like that gives an advantage to the underdog, to the deck that we didn't expect. And again, if he keeps putting threats on board and things that are meaningful, we can see a win out of nowhere. We are getting to that part of the game in which even a more casual deck can go off.
We will see the first attempts. Should, like, now we get back to the 2 Timber deck, then we have
We have enough mana. We have enough resources.
Yes.
They have drawn enough cards that they should find. Some.
Yeah. So I think the term like in one-on-one.
Shadowborn Apostle.
Okay.
So we know.
Do we have many Shadowborn Apostles? That's really.
Do we have? Yeah.
Do we have the whole?
I will check the list.
All right. I guess the demon you want to find here could be a Runescarred demon for the demonic tutor.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't think that anyone will have an issue with this. But yeah, we have
24 Shadowborn Apostles in the deck.
Okay, so this is not your average cEDH deck. We do have some spicy outlets. I think we'll see them when we get there.
Yeah.
So you can expect plenty of these. These are most likely the fodder that will fuel the engine.
Yeah.
But obviously there are some premier demons already have been featured on stream that could be the end goal target. Yeah, I agree. What year is it? It's everything can happen right now. It's not what we expect per se, but 24 Shadowborns Apostle.deck. It's something.
I got beaten by a old school Kalia deck the other day, pretty bad. I just didn't have a blocker.
Yeah. Well, that happens to you sometimes. That is when when this power level 8 or 9 deck sneaks under the radar because resources and maybe just like you and I wouldn't say we were like okay, what is this? We don't have to respect it. But at the end of the day, if they spend mana each turn, then like no one comes to a tournament like this and hasn't have a game plan for how to win.
Absolutely, and it's nice to see the 10 decks react to these decks.
Yeah, because sometimes they're really not built for this type of interaction.
Absolutely.
Or
not.
this type of threat, so to say.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
But like drawing 4 on these attacks seems pretty great.
Seems nuts.
The thing that True Timner really struggles with, in my opinion, is this particular situation. It's going great. They are ahead. They have sort of a lockdown. But what now? Like, I don't think that this list plays Thassa's Oracle. We can look that up because you want to play the Torpor Orbs. So you really have to kind of find either a Divining Witch or a Jace, not the Mind Sculptor, but the Labman Jace.
Yes.
Which is, it's pretty slow. Yes, exactly. Or find an Elish Norn, which is a great Elish Norn on this board would be amazing.
So yeah, it's not running Thassa's Oracle.
No.
It's pretty heavy on the stacks.
Yeah, we do see a Sanctum Prelate here.
Yeah.
Which will choose 3. So essentially a Chalice.
Yeah, another one.
Another one, yeah. 3 seems odd in my opinion, doesn't it?
Does 3 prevent anything from the sacrifice one?
I'm not sure.
Prevents...
Because the altars are all 2. He already has one of the altars.
Does it prevent anything from Corval? I think it does.
It does prevent Jessica's Will.
Yeah.
But I guess Corval wants to...
Prevents all the wheels.
Prevents all the wheels.
To save the... Prevents Agent and Preacher as well.
That's true. But I just think in this situation maybe 2 would be more advantageous.
Yeah. Again, we're not seeing their hands. So it's a half analysis that we can make from here, but...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Welcome cEDH Brazil. Nice to see you joining in.
Hey.
We are right now in the 3rd round of the initial tournament, and after this we'll have a semi-final and then a finals match with our highest standing players and obviously our 3 semi-finalists. Nice to see you joining in from the other side of the world. I hope you're doing great.
Yeah.
And it's a Soul Ring.
And pass.
I think actually the Obeka player has... it's not great, but it has stabilized in a sense, right?
For not drawing a land in 5 turns, I guess now.
And we do have the Magic 5 right now.
Yeah.
So as long as we don't see something explosive, we have the opportunity to go for the ad nauseum.
Yeah. Destiny Spinner. That's really good there.
Yes. It's good, and I would say in a normal pot it would be better, but we have one counterspell deck, and I don't think there's any creatures that are getting countered here.
Oh no, absolutely. But
I played that card in Food Chain. Obviously, there it protects both half of the combo.
well, it still protects them from the Chalice effect, though.
Yes.
So
That's true, but it's creatures, and I think Sanctum Prelate says non-creatures, right?
Okay.
But you're absolutely right.
Yeah, no creature spells. Yeah, you're right. Is it creatures and enchantments?
The what?
The Destiny Spinner?
Creatures and enchantments, so both half of the Food Chain combo.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it does protect like the necromancy, the Food Chain, the necropotence.
It's a Food Chain version. Oh, that makes sense.
It's a good play in that situation.
Yeah, but
because it's the only one that breaks parity on the effect.
I thought actually that the most core decks would have moved away from the Food Chain version and towards the more Treasure Storm-based Norse pizza stuff like that.
Yes, and the outlet here seems to still be the breach.
Yeah.
So
I guess. Do we have a Praetor's Grasp in here as well, or not particularly?
No.
And yeah, we sacked the Apostle, which is a cleric. That's an interesting interaction.
Well, that's true. Also from chat, there is also the possibility of a tainted pack on the end step. Leave one.
Yeah.
Draw it.
Yes. True.
Get the Oracle out.
It's a good catch.
A slow game for round 3 compared to our previous rounds, but not less interesting. It puts us on a position on analyzing what happens in the format when we have a pot that is slower, and also what happens when we bring a deck into the table.
And I think this pot is really something you would see at most tournaments, right? You have some people who are coming in with attuned decks, and then in the first round or two are playing against a little bit more higher powered, or people who are playing with what they have. Bringing their best. They heard about this cEDH thing, bring their best deck because they can't play it in their regular casual groups. And I think that is maybe something what we see here.
Yeah.
And you have to be prepared for those situations as well. Obviously, it's maybe not a final situation, but it is something that you have to prepare for every tournament. I think we all have tried it, and or at least know a friend who has played this particular round 1.
Yeah, no, and then you also have we also have talked about this a lot, but pilot prowess is something that it's super important for our format, especially on a tournament setting where there is limited round time, a lot of stuff. Here, if you're a good player and you have played, 200 games with your 8 or 9 deck, and the older guys are trying a new deck. Once you have a lot of experience with a deck, you feel comfortable playing it.
Yes.
You're not afraid of the challenge.
Yes. An underrated skill, and it's a
mystical tutor.
Yes.
We're getting here.
But
what are we getting here?
What we're getting here?
Is this?
This could be a tutor chain, because we really need the. I think we need the Elish Norn to close out the game. And Elish Norn right now, I think, almost ends the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mainly because we remove the Tasha player. We remove some mana. Doesn't really do much against the Obeka player, of course, but we put on the clock, and so I think the play, if you can.
Yeah, also if the Obeka player has the Atnos, we don't do much here. Oh, Fierce Guardianship.
Okay.
So we're setting up for something, definitely.
Yeah. Or we just feel like we're so comfortably ahead, we'll just have the protection.
Well, yes, drawing two 2 to 6 cards every turn extra.
Is pretty great, right?
Feels pretty good. So
yeah, I think it's the protection part.
Yeah, there's nothing like free spells.
No. Also something I think they really need to reprint, right? They printed it this year, but it goes in every single deck. Also goes in every casual deck, because there's no reason not to.
Isn't it a 3 though?
What?
Isn't it a 3?
It is a 3, so actually
he cannot cast it. So it's a...
Yeah.
He probably forgot about it.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely. So that's a great analysis. Let's see if they catch it, because but he can play it, but they can't cast it. It's not like
he can't cast it.
Put it on the stack and then it will get counted.
Yeah, you have to roll it back to that point, get the warning if that happens.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think that could indicate that we have a pilot who is newer on the deck, or at least Sanctum Prelate is a recent addition.
That's the thing. That's the thing as well. It's also a card that you cast for free, theoretically.
Yeah, so you don't in your mind don't read.
You don't pay the mana.
No.
Yes, you only realize Force of Will is 5 when it hits you with Atlas, right?
Yes.
You don't realize it before that.
Yeah, we commonly refer to it. It's alternate casting cost.
Yeah.
Blue 3, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Eldritch Norn.
We already have the Eldritch Norn,
so that was the protection.
That is the protection. Yeah.
It's really bad. So let's see if we see this stack, which will require a judge call if that happens.
Yes, because he can't cast it. He has to reverse it.
Hopefully the players will figure it out, but
yeah,
if not, we will jump to it. Okay, he's hitting the tutor for 2 life. Just to do something, I guess, before it dies.
That's not great. Because now...
this indicates there, because now he's going to roll over, like he's going to get 6 cards on attacks.
Yes, and also just going to get 8 life. So, and you can, like, he has, it's 3 2/2s, which are essentially 3 4/4s. Well, we don't use spell table. It is something we considered. Right now we have gone with this setup, but since there are 3 more series, webcam series, it's something we will evaluate, and especially if we get player feedback and they don't feel that this was a good solution, at least to play the games. I think for communication, Discord is pretty great. Of course, we'll take that into consideration for the next
absolutely.
For the next tournament. So nothing is set in stone. We're just we're starting out on this.
And we are also obviously going to look into all the platforms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's our first major online tournament. We have been part of some, paper Magic tournaments. Yeah. So we're just looking to improve, and all feedback is very much appreciated, because we want to, we do it for ourselves as well, and for you guys, that the better tournaments and things we have, the greater the chances that we can get to play more Magic and get more people involved in this end of the format, which
So now we are seeing the sacrifice chain, obviously, from exiling Sagachima here.
Yeah, I guess he has to try to get.
It's too much card advantage here.
Yeah, and I think Tesha is a cleric too, right? So he does get a draw, and grows grow. I guess it's a 2/2 now. It's a bit difficult to see what the dice is on, but
I think it's on 3. The dice is on 3.
Okay. So we have a 3/3. Does it the Torbrax, does it count counters, or is it power? Do you remember?
I'm not sure.
So yeah, Disney Vader, thanks a lot for the suggestion. We'll work on an overlay. I definitely agree that that some kind of names. So when we refer people by names, so then you can follow a little bit easier. That's something we'll take into consideration. It's a good suggestion.
Absolutely.
And if you somehow could have an overlay where you put in the card, so you at least see the commanders in the corner. And production immediately responded.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so it is counters. So
cares about the counters.
Cares about counters, not power.
So he's still pretty good to set it up and start gaining some life back. Okay.
Yeah, I still like obviously the rule of law is a problem for Obeka, but Obeka seems to be in an okay position right now. Doesn't need to resolve many creatures. Yeah, Dockside dies each time, but when you're breaching...
Yes, the problem is that he's on 20, so
yes.
He's vulnerable to a few attacks from Tymna, and he's done. But I'm not sure he's the biggest concern of the Tymna player at all, so let's see how it pans out on threat assessment.
Yes. I would definitely right now it is the two Tymna top left players game to lose, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're swinging for 8 at Matthias.
The dates have been announced. I think they're on Discord.
I think the dates are. I'll figure that out while we.
Yes, while we wait for the guys to decide who to attack, we'll find the dates for you. But they're the guys who are actually the tier 1, who are tier 1. They will come on and tell a little about our summer tournament as well. Yeah, Obeka being on 16 seems crazy rough.
Yes. Oh. And then again, if that Sakachima would have been on board, it's a whole different game.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you suddenly draw all the cards. Oh, it's a keep of the Accord. That seems odd. That's one of the powerful white cards from Commander Legends. And he does get both halves, which is
5
unusual.
Mana. Adnos on 16 life.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is playing to win. He has no other chances but try to get this Adnos off. I think this is the 100% correct. And I think now we might have to call the judge. If he's trying to call Cass, the Confluence. No, the Fierce Guardianship. I always get those two mixed up.
I don't think it will happen, but yeah. But on a win, maybe we'll have to.
That's great so far.
Good. He still needs some removal for the rule of law.
Yes.
He doesn't get removal, he's done.
Yes. But he is done into combat steps anyway, so this is the time to go for it.
I agree. He has to consider he's taking 2 next turn, so he's actually on 13 life at this point.
Well,
he has to tap
he takes 1. He might be able to scoot around the City of Brass.
Yes. So what do we have the player saying here?
I think we are trying to... I think it's connectivity issues as high as I understand it.
Okay.
And
okay. The players are trying to figure it out though. Oh yes,
so we put on the die, which is pretty spicy, but I think they talked it through and they decided that okay, we'll allow it.
Okay.
It is a bit spicy in the middle of resolving an ad nauseum, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, and the players right now are discussing exactly the same thing as we have been discussing. 2 Tymnas, the Stacks player. The first turn is just super, super rough.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back.
And
then, so let's see. Let's see what it reveals.
Yes, we are on 14 right now.
15, but it's a 14 by all means. So he takes another one. What we don't want to see here is Pier.
Yes. Pier, then it's game over. Snap.
Hey, that's snap. Relevant.
Yes.
Relevant with 2 lands.
Yes. Oh, this is a pretty good ad nauseam. That's
the Oracle.
That we're not quite there yet. Miscast 8.
That's the removal now.
Remora. We're virtually on 7, I think.
Oh,
that's gotta hurt.
That's bad. An intuition.
But
he has to go for it. Get an Elechnorn. Get hit in the air for 1, lose.
Yeah, that is correct.
Give back the Elechnorn.
And right now the City of Brass is turned off and we have the play on 1. He instepped the ad nauseam in the instep of the 2 Timna player's turn.
Yeah.
So he has some of his mana available, but can't really tap his City of Brass.
So he has 5 mana available because he also revealed
Mana Crypt.
a Mana Crypt. So
yes.
He has 5 mana for himself, only one of which is color. He plays that, he dies next turn to it as well. But he dies to the City of Brass, so like I get to the Mana Vault, sorry. So I guess he has to play it.
He has to play it. Try to untap. I don't think he can go for it right now.
He has to hope that he
and he also
plays the snap.
He only has one spell against the rule of law, so he's gonna play the Mana Crypt
and pass.
It's not optimal. I think it's the only line available to him, to be
but
completely honest.
The game just again got exciting because now we have the Oveka player fighting for his life literally, and the person that he has to deal with here absolutely is the Timna player.
Yes, for sure. Disney Raider with another question. Assuming the Tier 1 paper tournament doesn't get cancelled due to COVID, what will the proxy policy be? Yeah, I think it has already been answered. Look for Discord on Discord for answers. That's a little bit beyond our scopes, so we won't go into that discussion. It's a hot button topic, but
it is covered in the
Discord.
And
yes.
in the Discord. So and obviously the community has had a lot of input on it.
Yes, we try what we can, but we also realize that.
Yes, but the idea is not to make the people cannot play because of wallet issues. No. So like the store will figure out.
Yeah.
Gitaxian Prof is not gonna do much here. Time Twister was on hand.
Ooh.
Delay was on hand.
Yeah, but only one spell. Maybe actually, I think running out the Remora here could have been something. Obviously, no. He needs 4 mana to untap. He could have run out the Remora, but then he doesn't have any colored mana.
Yeah. Running the Guild Rake for the Elechnorn killing.
I think he just has to hope for the best that Elechnorn doesn't swing at the Obeka player. He is on 1 life. He might miss it.
Yes, and he's dead on board.
Yes.
So two triggers here.
So I think what you're doing right now is let the other people make the mistakes.
Absolutely.
That is, you're only out in this situation.
Absolutely.
We do actually see a beautiful. Is it the APAC lands? I think it's the Singapore land. I really love that art.
Yeah, we have really good playmats this round. From all Heroes of Magic. So we have the Pro Tour Chandra playmat, the Grand Prix New Jersey Brainstorm.
We have the Nimble Obstructionist, and then we have it's a John Avon Winter 5th edition. It's my guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have a Jeweled Lotus. I think that is just going to be sacked for, a draw. Really nice that this particular deck can run that alternate mode of. It is something.
It makes it bigger,
Mm.
does everything that you want to do. Who's he going after?
I'm not sure, but I think it's the two Timna players who is getting attacked by the kobold.
Okay,
which
makes sense.
Yeah, and then
There
he
is zero incentive for the other two players to go after Obeka.
no, and he sacks his 2/1 who protects from counter spells, but that's hardly relevant at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're just going to discard, keeping up some mana. Somehow, I guess we're looking for trophies. Abrupt Decays is something that we could go for here. But this is the issue with a deck that wants to win a little bit through combat damage. He is on quote-unquote only 19, and he's the only one getting attacked right now.
Yeah.
But that will die immediately, I guess. Is it a 2/3?
It's a
It's a
2/3.
2/3.
So it's
Yes.
a Tier 1 right now. Surviving barely.
Yeah, and now we see again obviously the attack against the Timna player.
Yeah.
He has the Timna just to get 4 life each turn, which is pretty good. And I think the proper attack here is
One.
the Kobold player.
Yeah. I mean, I guess play your Sakashima, then get all the cards.
I think a Sakashima on Illusion here is the play, actually.
Yeah.
Just like nothing can exist. We lock the game so far out of reach of anyone, and then we just strike them
That's great, yes.
with so much damage. Like Illusion is going to hit for 6. Tima's going to hit for also 6. I think that is the play. And they somehow have to prevent this, I think.
And then it's just a matter of turns.
Then it's just a matter of turns. And then I think you're actually there where you say, okay, I'll just draw a single card of Timna. That's probably fine.
Oh.
That seems really odd. But it's going to be a Sanctum Prelate, maybe? All right.
So he can get a prelate naming other number. Okay.
I think that's a misplay.
It just dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will just die.
That's just, okay. We have
That's an error.
So what it's the same line as we were suggesting, but just with the reading as tech. The other partner is a Sakashima, so I think Nihilus, what he really wanted to do is this particular play, but it doesn't work unless you play Sakashima. So right now he just has to legend rule his Phantasmal Image, I guess.
Yeah. What happened here? Why is it not dead?
I think they're discussing if there's a take back here, but since
I don't think he realized that, so
no. Okay, so that's what they're discussing right now. Is it enters the battlefield? Does its 2/2 to the other creatures get resolved before it has to die as due to the legend rule?
The legendary rule has changed. So
luckily, Philippe is a judge, so we'll also look that up. I don't know. Still a bit of a misplay, I think, since you can do the same trick with Sakashima.
Yeah.
But what right now they have played it as if it enters, it applies, it's
it's static effect.
And then it has to die due to.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think so too. Since you can do it, you get to choose, and you get the ETB. So why shouldn't you get the the status effect?
I still think the Sakachima was the right play here.
Yeah, this is obviously. I think this is a misplay, but he's so far ahead, so it kind of works out in his favor.
Sure, but it's also his last. He's on this spell for turn, so.
Yeah, it's clear misplay, but he doesn't get punished because he has set up this lock.
Yeah.
So now we have 2 triggers here, and we're gonna hit for the mana crypt. So if you have uneven, he's eliminated from the game. Maybe I would have asked for a reroll there. But let's see what they say. Okay, they'll allow it. That it was outside the table. I guess we're all friends here, but
yes,
I would have rerolled. I would have called for a reroll.
I know what the 3 of us in coverage would have asked for.
I would have asked for a reroll. I think
we're really nice when we're playing at each other's houses, but then we're playing a tournament.
Something like this, where it is the game on the line, so to say. Because now he has some decent resources.
He has really good outs here. He can snap an attacker. I'm not completely sure why he was not attacked and get rid of. I will always take the blue player out.
Yeah, and we didn't even have an like, so we, due to all the confusion with the yellow snot, I don't think we had an attack.
We didn't have an attack.
Okay, so
really common mistake for cEDH players, because we really were not used
to combat. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
It happened on last round where Ahmad not attacking with the crown after not winning. Because you try to go for a line, you just say pass, and then you off. Yeah,
and I think you're really biased, like, I made this mistake, so stupid, and you only focus on that, and you forget that you actually have 12 damage on the board, 4 of it, which actually gains you a lot of life.
Yes.
Which you need, because the core vault, bit tough to see, but it's getting pretty big. There. No, I will just take the life here, because both of these players on the bottom, the Tesha and the core player,
big creatures.
They have big creatures, and I think it's a 5 we see on the Torbrax, which is the flying cleric.
Yes.
So it's actually a 5/5 with lifelink.
And I think we have a 4/4 on. It's
these counter dice. It's a little bit difficult to see. That is how it is when you're playing webcam games.
Yes.
Some of the finer details. Chromox Dark Ritual. Spicy, I guess.
Yeah, you really have to trust there that it's going to give you 3 turns of mana.
Yeah. Yeah, and we see an attack on the. Yeah, it's basically a rerun of last turn. The gambler in me really wants to see the Obeka deck untap and then just fire off on all cylinders. If they're not punishing this position, I think
I definitely think it's a mistake not taking out the Obeka player here.
Yes.
Because you were at 20 life.
Yeah. Obviously, Rule of Law makes Dark Ritual pretty awkward. But
I think the Corval player here has to think that he's taking out the. He doesn't take out the Timna player. He's done anyway.
Exactly. So I think I would keep it 2 and then hope that Obeka can bounce something, do something. Now we see a Torpor Orb effect, so we know that the Oracle in the Obeka player's hand is pretty lackluster.
So is this an old Danish table?
I think they are talking Danish.
Yeah, yes, it's an old Danish table. It's the first one we had today. Some good locals playing.
Is it dying? I don't understand. Why did it die?
What happened here?
So he flashed it in and blocked, I think.
Okay.
So that's the thing.
it's a good play. Preserve your light total there.
Yeah.
Not the worst.
Yeah, and maybe you're trying to go for the actual clone on your own turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not gonna change at all, and then you have this. You have the Teysa Karlov player winning 5 life, gaining 5 life every turn.
Yes, that's gonna be real rough to get through. So
how different will it be with the Sakachima here?
Would have been completely different since
the math for the Hashu.
Yeah, and we gain this 6 life instead, right? So now we are going 1 or 2 negative a turn. Doesn't really matter that much. I think actually maybe you could crack it's a horizon land as far as I see. I think you maybe should crack it here.
Yeah.
You need to find 2 removal spells.
Yeah, I agree.
Preferably, I think, I'm not sure if the list runs something like Short to Plowshares or something similar, like a 1 mana removal spell. Could be great. We do we do have a Source of Plowshares. Could also have like a Chain of Vapor. I can see there's in the list. There could also have been Rapid Hybridization, something like that. Yeah. Both these creatures have flying. Yeah, and again, so we already know that he missed 4 life last turn, which can get.
It starts adding up. You mix 4 on this turn, 6 on the next one.
Yeah. So he's effectively at 15, right? So he could go to 19, but instead he'll miss some of the increments. And if he had played the, yeah. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, and we're just commentating and
absolutely
trying to find if there's something there, right?
Okay, so there we have the judge announcing the 10 minutes.
Yes.
For the end of the round. With my rusty Danish.
Yes, and you're completely right. And yeah, that is how it is sometimes when you play these stacks. It is really slow, and you have to be on your toes to close out these games.
Yes, and then again, it plays those tempo plays of being able to hit for a bit more, taking 3 less, taking 3 more. They really start adding up.
Yes, they do.
What we mentioned in the beginning.
Yes, and 10 minutes, especially if you're like it has been super chill. This game it has moved at a slower pace. You have to, if you play a stack stick, also encourage faster play.
Yeah. So we will see how much they rush it. I think the play here is take out the first player.
I can't remember the rules, but you take out 1 player, so there's 1 less to share draw with, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you're rewarded for that. And the only one who can actually win on the spot right now, I think, is the Obeka player. Obviously, if you find a food chain from Corvold, that is also something.
Yeah.
But I think the Obeka player is clearly the biggest threat here.
Yeah, but there is a Sanctum Prelate preventing that now, because the Destiny Spinner it's wrong, so it's gone. So yeah, I think that if I was the Timna player, I'm just rushing this.
Yeah, the Sanctum Prelate says non-creatures, right? Yeah, so we're not afraid. Yeah, we're not afraid of the food chain here. For 6. Okay.
And here is also where it starts hitting that you didn't track commander damage.
Yes. And
you don't know if it's on 6, 8, or 10.
No, you have no idea. And furthermore, like Elish Nord has vigilance. No attacks coming out from her. And the Sanctum Prelate it shouldn't be blocking.
And Veka player is still alive.
Yes. So this is definitely could be some of the fatigue setting in over such a long game where nothing really is happening. So you have to be on your toes always, but not on your toes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No.
That doesn't make any sense at all. Because
you played your spell for turn.
Yes.
You're not the reactive player on the table. You left the reactive player alive supposedly to be reactive, I guess.
So,
he's being too careful with the Let's see. And there we go.
Yeah.
That does it.
You know, it's statistic. He tries 2 times and dies. It is what it is. But he had, like, I know that he has this chance of killing himself, but he has a great chance not a great chance, but a chance of just making it happen right now. The Sanctum Predator is on 3. We know you only need to counter 4 in increments of 2.
Yeah. So let's see now. Now we have a 3-horse race.
And you can even play the Oracle, play the Snap, take it up, and dig a little bit. That could be helpful.
You never know when you're gonna find the Tainted Pact.
No, and the only thing you could also find the Final Fortune here to interrupt the turn order. Yeah, I think there's. It's been some okay play, but there has been some critical mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. And that has to do with being the third round as well. We started pretty early. The players started playing 5 hours ago. So also that plays a role. It's also the winning in for many of them.
Yeah. For
the finals, so they're trying to play it safe.
Yes.
You don't want to commit a mistake and then.
A lot of the players, if they are we do have 3 semifinals, right? So 12 players are going to go to the semifinals, and
so he goes to 8, and I think we have we must be talking, even if he wins live. I think we're talking little commander damage in the next attack.
I think so too, and they have the Corval player. They haven't counted it. He might be dead right now.
The Electron changes the map a lot, but he has been taking a lot. He just took 8. He took 6 and 4. And
I think they are counting it right now. And they decided on next time. And that is sometimes when you are in, let's say, we're in an international tournament and then you get a part of all the same nationality, you get a little bit less, get more relaxed about it.
Yes.
He could have been dead right now. We don't know.
Yeah. So
Either way, I think it's looking really grim, because even if the judge, who just announced a couple of minutes ago that 10 minutes left, so maybe 1 or 2 rotations, there's a big chance that the Timner player will be taken out.
Yeah.
We see another land, but as far as I can recall, the list also plays 33, which is way too many.
Yes.
Yeah,
and any of our players didn't take any warnings, I think, on previous rounds. So even if they got the failure to maintain a game state, warning.
Yeah.
He's on 5 life.
Yes. So now I'm definitely sacking the Horizon thing. You can't activate it. That's just too dangerous.
Yeah.
And
But these life totals, he should have never put himself in a position.
No.
Of getting into this life totals.
He
has the Oracle in here, probably.
He does play the Torbrod, so I think what he's looking for here is a Jace, maybe.
Oh, the Jace, sorry, the Jace.
I'm not sure if I know some of these lists play Laboratory Maniac.
Yeah, he plays Labman. And he can play Labman here, so because the Sanctum Prelate is only non-creatures.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. Weirdly relevant that we didn't see that Fierce Guardianship play, because that would have been a 1 warning, and not maintaining the game state for the commander damage would have been the second.
Yes. Yeah. There
is a component of playing.
Could we please ban rule of law effects for the next tournament? No, Becca, we can't. Unfortunately.
Yes, cEDH rule 0 there is no rule 0.
You definitely got hit there. I agree. So it's a psych rift, probably a big rift, but still, again, that's not gonna win you the game within 10 minutes. This is most likely a draw.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we're gonna go into turns. I think he should have gone for.
I think he should have gone for the Jace.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to name here. He can stop. Hey, he just exiled his 2 win conditions that are not attack.
Yeah, because he named it, but he's
tainted back. So.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Hushbringer, Canonist.
Again, another
Yeah.
minor misplay due to playing for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Uh,
Days Undoing, I think that's an imitation of Time Twister. So now he is definitely committed to the big rift, but still, that's just not enough. This seems...
I hope he realizes he can stop any point.
Yeah, I don't think he does. And he does have the Cyclonic Rift in his deck, right? Because we can check. We know.
He has it. Yeah, we'll go for a big attacker here. The biggest in my deck. Or maybe a whole creature. Just something to attack, you know?
Yeah, I think... Yeah, again, maybe Jace is not the way to go, but...
Limbala here. Limbala here would have been a 7-8 flyer.
That would have been great too.
That's really good.
Actually, also like
that rushes the cloak.
The Judge's Familiar can... Oh, you need to block the Kobold. So, also, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a Swords to Plowshare quite early.
I think he could have also stopped there. I don't think he realized it was a tainted pack.
No, he didn't. Like
he resolved the naming something. So
yeah.
And that's the beauty of us having access to the audio here, because otherwise it will look really odd on stream.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't stop for the wind conditions.
Yeah.
This is definitely a draw.
Yes. So now he is attacking with everything, and as we mentioned, he has missed some damage here. But this 24 damage here. It's taking out the Corval player. But
so how are we on time?
Så skal vi lige gøre opmærksom på, at tiden er gået. Så Jack, du er den aktive spiller, og så er, når de andre der er tilbageværende, har taget
so we're on turns?
Yes.
Så er
the reason why we're on talking is the judge is talking to the players. So we are the clock has run out, and the Disney Vader, the card is Torbrax. It's a new card from Zendikar. It's the thing with the clerics.
So how are we resolving turns? Each of them will have one turn, or are we taking turn 0 here?
I think.
So it's the turn 0. We will have a turn 0 count.
Yes, and each of them will have a turn, and that's it.
Okay.
Even though it's one-on-one magic right now, and usually I think it's 5 turns, but. Yeah. So
it's only fair. They will both take the draw and take 1 point.
I think it's a good situation for both of them. The Timnat player has been in the driver's seat for the entire game and kind of throws it a little bit away.
Yes, and then you realize here that those 2 points could have been the tiebreaker. Hopefully it doesn't hurt him.
But this is something that we have Joe at least. I know Najila player who you commented on the last match, who has won 2. But I don't recall how many Jack has won here. The Timna player. So it comes down to the small things.
After this one, we will sort out the standings, and we will see how much this hurts in the end.
But yeah, we are just going to go to the draw. I think a game where we saw this game demonstrates perfectly, for me at least, what's great about Two Timnas and what's terrible about it.
Oh yeah.
It has an iron grip on the game, but if you really have to play with these small little advantages.
Absolutely. I would have killed the Oveka player. We use the Tainted Pack, remove my own rule of law, go for a win.
Yes.
Go for a big win, like 30 attacks.
Yeah, and so we have this. We have a couple of critical moments, in my opinion. We have not taking out the Obeka player.
Yes.
We have the Tainted Pack, because he knew that we were short on time.
We had the Phantasmal Image.
The Phantasmal Image.
And we have not tracking the Timna damage. He dealt so much damage.
Yeah.
Jeg er lige konfereret med TO, og du får som den sidste lov til at køre din tur færdig. selvom du er den aktive
So we
spiller,
have the
fordi
judge.
det er
So,
en del af-
Yeah, the judges just came back and we'll have one final turn. I'm not sure it's going to matter much because I can't really see the life total, but the Tesha player has been getting quite a lot of life.
Yeah, he's on 39.
39, that's not going to be enough.
that is-
He has 24 on board, but he's not going to...
He's not gonna pump the entire team 15.
No. And we know the phantasmal image is in the graveyard. Like a phantasmal image, is, especially now, because we actually know there is a world where he Sakashimas and then phantasmal image for another Elishnorn.
Yeah.
And then you win.
Yeah.
Then your team gets +6/+6, and that is pretty trivial.
Yeah. Yeah. He could have gotten the swords to plowshares and get rid of the life linker 3 turns ago as well.
Mm.
But again, 5 hours of play time, they take a toll on you.
Yeah.
But it shows how difficult it is.
Yes, definitely. And
And it's not in the spirit of criticizing the players. It's
No,
just saying
no.
like this is the difficulties of playing stacks.
it is.
It's an archetype that I like to play against. I don't like piloting it because it's really it takes a lot of energy.
I think a lot of people think that Stax is an easy archetype, but
Absolutely not. It requires a lot of pilot skill.
it does, and a lot of skill.
The Binding Witch.
Yeah, this is the Tainted Pact on a stick, so you can.
This is a consultation list.
Yeah.
So that here you have to name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Sorry. My point was it's an effect.
Yeah.
It's a backup effect for these consultation lists.
So if he had 2 of those consultation effects, he could have gone for the Binding Witch last turn.
Yeah. So if you get, because he's not going to play the Cyclone Griff, so if you actually just name Jace or take Jace for the Tainted Pact, because this one, it could have drawn it, but again,
Play the Jace on your last turn as your spell.
yeah.
But it is how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, it works through rule of law. It doesn't cast a spell. It's an amazing card in the deck. We're not arguing against that. It's super important that you put it into the list. Redundancy is important, especially as we see here.
Yeah.
So yeah, and as some of the people in chat also said, like stacks is hard to pilot because again, putting in the correct stacks pieces for the meta that you expect.
So again, so now that we are almost on the closing here, because it's a tie, it seems.
Yeah.
By all means, how are we? What are you thinking? It's the color of the game here. What made the difference?
I think it's rule of law.
Rule of law?
I think rule of law.
Not in a positive way in this case.
No, but rule of law has had a huge impact on this game, and it's one of the. It's a really good card in the meta. It's so hard to win against. Yeah, I think so. What are your thoughts?
I think for me probably it would be. Yeah, I think the rule of law is the most determining one. I will have named Elishnorn.
Yeah.
The game will have gone to the first player. Corval pretty massive as well.
Yeah.
As well.